Alright guys, I did it. I got a video out before Valentine's Day. That was my goal after Christmas, was to at least get one video out before Valentine's Day. I'm going to work on another because I want to get another one out. But without further ado, let's get right into the video so you guys can see what I've made.
Okay, so this first project is actually going to be similar to something that you've seen on my channel here before. Actually on several channels, but this was inspired by a cute little sign that I made around Thanksgiving, Christmas time last year. But I am using these tumbling tower blocks that you can get from the Dollar Tree, which I haven't been able to find them for a while, so I just picked up a few packs and I was really excited to make something with them again. But I'm going to be making a little sign here for Valentine's Day that I can put on a tiered tray or like a stack of books or something like that. And I decided to make myself a little base right here. So this part where I glued these 6 blocks together is a base, and then I put a strip down the middle to raise it up just a little bit and give it some dimension. We're going to be using Waverly White chalk paint to get this all painted. And then this, like I said, is just for the base part. So I'm going to get it all painted, and then I'm going to give it a light layer of sanding, especially on the edges, just to kind of make it look a little distressed. Which I guess I'm going to show you in a minute, because instead now we're going to move on to the blocks that we put on top. So I wanted to make a little pink color. So I used Waverly White chalk paint and some acrylic paint from Arteza. And now I'm painting, I don't even remember how many there were. It was like 6 or 7, I believe, of these tumbling tower blocks, this pretty pink color right here. Here we go. This is the part that I was talking about. Thought that I was going to do that first, but that makes sense. While those pink blocks were drying, I went ahead and I sanded this down to make it smooth, and then I, of course, put just a little bit extra attention on the edges. And then right here, this is just some white chalk paint that I wanted to distress each of the pink blocks with, just to kind of break it up and give it a little bit more depth and dimension. You guys know that I love to distress everything. So using some white, I went ahead and did that on all of the pink. This is some Valentine's paper that I have used for years and years and years. I got this from the Wood Connection. It's a cute little store in Utah. I believe they have a website too that I have linked before, so I can link that down below. But I'm trying to use some wire right here just to kind of fold the paper over. I'm not going to continue to use the wire, but I wanted to make a mini banner. And so I cut these into these little pieces right here, and then I just used a piece of wire to fold a top part, just a really small top part of the paper over, because I'm going to be gluing it to some string to make a cute little banner to hang on this little block sign right here. So right now I'm just cutting out like a flag. I'm making it into a flag. I'm cutting out a triangle. That's what I wanted to say. I'm cutting out a triangle on the bottom to make it look like a little flag banner. And I did this with all of these pieces, and we're going to be drawing on each one of them. But again, I wanted it to be miniature because it's going to be on a small sign for a tier tray, a shelf. I have a stack of books that I love to decorate on top of, and so I might even stick it up on top of there. Using a Sharpie, you can use a Sharpie or even like a paint marker, but my black paint marker is all gone, so I have to get another black paint marker. But I went ahead and drew on the words "Be Mine," separated it with a little heart, and then I went ahead and I glued these together because I was going to individually glue them just to the bottom, but they were spacing apart a little weird. So I'm gluing them together so that I can control the spacing that I have with them. You can see that, like, even though I'm putting some hot glue on there, I'm not pushing them together very, very firm. I kind of wanted them to look like there was almost a little bit of space, like I was gapping them, kind of like when you do like a nickel between your shiplap. And then I am practicing my handwriting this year. So a goal that I have set for myself this year is I want to work on hand lettering. I want to learn how to hand letter. I've always been interested in that. I love to write. What I mean by writing is not like a book, which I actually, tangent, I would love to write a book someday. I don't know what I would write about, several things. But anyways, come back, focus, right? Focus, Annalie. I want to learn to hand letter, to write out in cute hand font. So one of the goals that I set for myself was to teach myself how to hand letter, and I've been watching some YouTube tutorials. So this is not the way that I would normally do it, but because I wanted it to kind of look like a little painted sign, I just thought I would try my hand at this and see if I could make this look like I maybe used a vinyl stencil or something like that. So here's my attempt at hand lettering. We should compare this to the end of the year and see how much I improve, because hopefully I do improve. But it was kind of fun to do some hand lettering, because most of the time I just do vinyl or a stencil or a sticker or something like that. So using some of this cute twine that I got from the Dollar Tree, it came in a pack of 3. I love that it came with those colors. There was a solid pink color, a solid red, and then like a red and white one for the baker's twine. I went ahead and I just used a dab of hot glue and glued this onto the string. That's why we needed that little fold over that we did. And then I just tied this into little knots and glued them on. And now we have this cute little hanging banner on the front of this part of the sign. So it's a reversible sign. So you can see right here, I technically made 2 signs and I can turn them around. This top part looked a little bare. Looking back, I don't know if I actually did need this, but what's nice about it is I can take this extra part off. But I thought it would be cute to make a little pom-pom type banner, just a mini one. And it ended up just being more like just tying the 3 types of string on there, and we put that across the top. It does give it a little bit more texture. It looks better at the end, I promise. This right here is where I'm still kind of like feeling it out and deciding if I like it. So I did stick with it, but I might be taking it off. So here is this little reversible sign all done once I glued it on there. Yeah, see, looking at it on here, I don't know if I need that little top part. It might be better without it. But again, I can just take it off. I didn't glue it. I just like wrapped it around the ties over there in the corner. But here is this cute little Valentine's sign that will go in like a tiered tray or wherever you want it, really. Okay, so I really wanted this sign to go next to a picture with my Valentine's decor. So I heard this beautiful love song. Gosh, right now I'm not remembering who it's by, but I will try to put it here on the screen. You guys have heard it, I'm sure. It's called Never Stop, and I love the lyrics to this song. And yes, it's cheesy, but what is Valentine's Day if not cheesy? Like, I love to use an excuse to be cheesy. I know that Valentine's Day is not for everybody. I know that Valentine's Day is oftentimes hard for people, but I do love to make it a little bit sappy and cheesy sometimes. I feel like it's just an excuse to be a little bit more sappy than usual. So this is a sign that I am making that I'm going to put in my bedroom next to a picture of me and my husband. So this is just the chorus of this song that I'll share with you guys right here. But it's called Never Stop, basically, and our Never Stop, I believe. Yeah, Never Stop. And then it's the bottom, like the end of the chorus is I will never get used to you. And so I did this on the back of a Dollar Tree sign. I just used vinyl to cut it out into a stencil. You saw that I just basically pounced it all on there. And now I'm using some small finish nails to hammer this in place. I like to use these little nails because these frames I actually can reuse. I just made this frame in another video, and I'm reusing it, repurposing it. And so it honestly, even with using the hot glue, I can pop these right out if I want to change out the backs of these signs. But here are the lyrics. If you want to pause your screen right now, you can read through the chorus, but it's really such a beautiful love song. And my favorite part is I will never stop holding your hand. It's just basically like I will never stop loving you. I will never stop trying. I will never get used to you. Beautiful love song, you guys, if you want to listen to it. I'll have it linked down below. Okay, these are for tiered trays. These are actually this is some footage that I took last year, and I never got a chance to put it into a video, and so I didn't want it to go to waste, and I'm still decorating with these cute things, so I decided to put them in this video and share them with you. So this is a piece of scrapbook paper that I got from the Wood Connection. Again, I'll have that website linked down below, but I love that it just had all of these cute little squares that you can cut out and put on pieces of wood, or you can hang them up. You can really do anything with these pieces of paper. So just using some scrap wood and some of these little plaques that I got from the Dollar Tree, I am painting them and doing various colors. You can see we're doing pink, red, white. I just wanted to make these to add some filler into a tier tray. This one right here is going to be an envelope. I love these cute little envelopes. In fact, I was really inspired by Whiskey and Wit. She gives me so much inspiration, you guys. I love her style of DIYing and decor. I really can relate to her. I can relate to a lot of people, don't get me wrong, but I just love her style. So she's been really inspiring me a lot lately to make a bunch of this decor. So I thought this would be cute to make this little envelope that looks like somebody sent me a letter, and then using some of these wood stickers. They're these wood heart stickers that you can get from the Dollar Tree. I decided to, at first I was going to go with like a really distressed look, and I decided that I wanted it to be way more contrasted, and so I did like a distressed paint job where I didn't fully fill it in, but you can see that it's mostly red. So there's this one, and I'm going to show you them all together at the end. So going back to that scrapbook paper right here, I love to use wood glue to glue down my paper. I will cover the top of it with Mod Podge, but I do like wood glue. I feel like the wood glue is just a little bit stickier and drier, if that makes any sense. Mod Podge has a considerable amount of water into the mixture, and sometimes I feel like it puts too much moisture into my paper or my photos, and it will wrinkle it for me. I actually learned this trick from the Wood Connection, that store down in Utah, and I've really liked it ever since, so I've kind of just stayed with it, and it's worked well for me using the wood glue over the Mod Podge on the bottom. I don't have as much wrinkling. You also want to use a very, very thin, even layer. The more glue that I use, the more moisture that it adds, so I can have wrinkling if I use wood glue, but I found that if I just use a thin amount and don't overdo it, then it doesn't wrinkle. Right here, this is going to be a little reversible sign. I wanted to be able to put one on either side. I actually cut this down with my chop saw to the size of these pieces of paper. I want to say they're like 3x5 by 3x5, if I remember right. But this was a reversible sign. So here in a little bit, you'll see that I flipped it and you can use it as a reversible sign. So here it is. These are all of them, all done. This is just such a cheap way. I mean, the piece of scrapbook paper was like 70 cents or like $1, and it had 9 of those beautiful little squares on there. And then if you just get some scrap wood, I mean, this is just a piece of 1x3 or 1x4 from Home Depot left over from my husband, so it was free for me. And then I just put a piece on each side, and then you can see that we just flipped it around. Here's the completed projects with the little envelope and the other little sign right here. These I put on a shelf. I did not have my tier tray all decorated up for Valentine's Day yet, so I just put them right here to show you, but I will be using them in a tier tray because I think they are so cute. This right here is a direct project inspired by, or I should say a project inspired directly by Whiskey and Wit. She does these cute arrow signs. I'm sure you guys have seen how she does these. She gets these reception signs that you can use from the Dollar Tree. And actually, she also provided this SVG file, this cut file. I downloaded it right from her website, so I will make sure that I have her linked down below. But this was so easy to do, you guys. I downloaded this and uploaded it right into my Cricut. So easy to do, I'm telling you. Do not be afraid of doing this, and they're always free. So if you guys get a chance, go follow these YouTubers that provide you with these free cut files, because she designed this and I thought this was so cute. I just painted this entire sign red and then distressed the edges a little bit, and then cut with vinyl, cut out with some matte vinyl in white. I just transferred this on here, as you saw. Right here, you'll see me putting on this sticker, but later I decide that I don't like the sticker. I like it just plain. So when you see the end result, you won't see that sticker. But right here, I did embellish it just a little bit more with some baker's twine. I wrapped some baker twine around it right here and tied it off. And you'll see too, I think you'll probably agree with me that taking off that little sticker was the right choice. But here it is, all done. And you guys, I love these. She does one of these. She is in Whitney. I almost said whiskey. She is in Whitney from Whiskey and Wit, does one of these cute signs for almost every holiday, and she always gives you a cut file. So I will be making so many more of these. Okay, going back to scrap wood. My husband uses this like either 1/4 inch or 1/8 of an inch. It's called underlayment. It's just really, really thin wood at Home Depot. He uses this for a lot of his projects, and he always has scrap pieces. So this is something that I cut down with my chop saw. You guys can cut this down with a miter box saw or a hand saw using a miter box. Whatever you want to do, it really is so easy. And then you saw that I just glued these 3 pieces together using some popsicle sticks and some hot glue on the back. And then using some of this Elmer's glue in this glue stick. I picked these up around back to school time because they come in a lot, like it gives you like a package of like 10 or 12 and you can grab them in bulk. So I grabbed those, and then this is just one of my favorite pictures of my husband and I, and I literally just printed this out on like white copy paper. I didn't mind that it was thin and not photo paper. I was fine with it just because you're gonna see here that I'll be distressing it just a little bit and then I cover it with Mod Podge. I like what it does. It doesn't bleed, which is nice. And there is a technique where you can actually use Mod Podge to transfer the ink of your photo onto the wood, which I will be trying that technique here on my channel soon. But for this one, I just wanted to glue this one down, and then I liked that it was paper because it distressed really easy. So I'm using sandpaper to distress all around the edges to look like it was like kind of part of the wood. I mean, you know, I don't know if it really looks like that, but we're gonna say that. And then I do go down the middle of the slits, so it looks like it's this little slat sign, and then I do kind of distress down the middle of it. I don't know if it shows it. There was so much of it that I don't know if I go down, but I also go like right across the picture. You can see that I'm just kind of distressing it all across the picture. And then I am covering it with a layer of Mod Podge. So this is going to be the last of the projects for this video right here. I'm embellishing it with just a little bit of twine, but this is the picture that I wanted to make to go next to that sign, and I'm going to show you those together. I do have an honorable mention project that I somehow lost all the footage. I don't know if I accidentally deleted it or if I just never really hit record or if my battery died. But I got one of those really, really tall signs from the Dollar Tree, the ones that you can get out right now for like Valentine's Day. And I just cut out on my Cricut the words "Be Mine, Valentine," and I just cut them down. Whiskey and Wit does this a lot on her channel too, and I actually don't have a cut file for you because I need to learn how to do that. But I just put it on a sign, and then I just put it up next to a photo in my home. So you're gonna see it coming up here that I did not show you guys how I made it, but it is right here. I still wanted to put it in because I loved it. It's gonna come up right here. This is that sign that I thought that I was filming why I showed you guys, but really all I did was I cut out vinyl and then I transferred it on, which you guys have seen me do 100 times, tied some ribbon there on the top, and it makes this darling sign that is tall. And I love using these really tall signs because it gives so much dimension. You can see right here how it looks on my shelf next to a picture of me and my husband.
That's it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you guys for those of you who are still here at the end for the end segment. For those of you who are new here, this is just a part of the clip that I do at the end of my video where I try to share something that I've learned that will hopefully inspire you the way that it has inspired me. One of the things that I learned over the Christmas holiday was a story that's been around for years. I believe that it was written sometime in the 70s, but it's called The Story of the $5 Lawn. And it's a story about a boy he's the narrator, he's telling the story. This little boy gets a job for a countess as her yard caretaker, and he mows her lawn and he works really hard. The first day he does it, it's a big yard, there's a lot to do, and he goes up to the door and he asks her for some money, and she says, "How much do you think that you're worth?" And he says, "I think I did about 50 cents worth of a good job today." She says, "Well, I think you're at least 3 times that." She gives him $1.50, and that's a big deal, you guys. This was a while ago. That was a lot of money. Eventually the countess talks about how there's the possibility of a $5 lawn. One of the things I love about the story is that the countess challenges the boy to push himself and work even harder. She says that a $5 lawn job is impossible. And so he thinks to himself, well, I want to do a $5 lawn job, but he thinks that he has to work up. So he does. He works his way up from $1.50 to $2 to $3, and it's hard work, you guys. He puts in hard work, and he's trying to figure it out. So he's working for a $4 lawn, and he just can't get it. Keeps trying really hard, but he can't figure out how to earn $4, you guys. He's exhausted. This poor boy is doing so much work. He's doing more than just a mowing job. He's doing trimming and hedging, and he makes the base of the trees look really nice. So as he's laying in bed one night trying to figure out how to achieve a $4 lawn, he realizes that it's not the $4 lawn that he has to go for. It's the $5 lawn that he has to go for. So basically, he goes back and he puts in a full day's work. He learns though that he needs to rest, that he needs to give himself breaks, that he needs to give himself time to recover. It's a hot day. He has to rest and relax. It takes him all day. He walks up and he knocks on the door. He's so proud of himself, and he says, "That would be $5, please." And she's like, $5? All right, well, this deserves some looking around. So she goes out and she looks at the yard and finds out that he does in fact earn $5. The moral of the story is, what are you going to settle for? Are you okay with a $3 lawn? Or are you okay with a $3 life? Or do you believe that you can achieve a $5 lawn job or a $5 life? I love the lesson that it imposes. This story is not a video, unfortunately, or else I would have a video link down below for you, but I will have the website link down below so that you guys can read this story. The way that I took this story was to mean that I too, if I put in the time, the effort, and give myself the grace to rest and be patient with myself, but never give up, I too can have a $5 life. And that's what I want. And I want to teach my kids to work for that too. Why settle, right? Why settle? That's the bottom line. Thank you guys so much for watching and for being here. If you would, please leave me a comment down below. Like this video. Consider subscribing if you would like to stick around for more content just like this. And cheer me on, because I really want to get another video out, you guys. I'm really working hard to be on a more consistent schedule for this year between my job, working full time outside of the home, balancing my kids, everything like that. We all have a balancing act, right? Like it's not meant to be a sob story, but I want to bring you guys some more consistency. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for being here. You guys are amazing, and this is why I keep doing this. I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys. He's grooming? Grooming? Is that grooming? No? Grooming? What do you do when you trim trees? Like, not trim trees. What do you do when you what do you do around the trees? What do you do around the base of the trees? So he makes the trees, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it.